for my Easter dress this year, I decided to recreate one of my favorite 1940s dresses, and that original dress had been kind of falling apart, and so I had taken it apart and traced the pieces while I was repairing it. And so to make this new Easter dress, I was using those tracings from the vintage dress. So I'm not using a real pattern, it was just one based off of an existing garment. The fabric I used was one from my stash, and it's just a modern one from a fabric store. I think, if I recall correctly, it's a polyester rayon blend. So it's pretty sheer, super drapey, and it also wrinkles if you look at it wrong. But that's okay, it's worth the drape. I wanted to dress up the look a little bit more and to emphasize the flounces and the cool drapes in the dress. And so I decided to do something I'd never done before. This is my first time trying out a crocheted trim. I found instructions for how to do this in a 1920s magazine that I've got. And so first I serged a narrow rolled hem on the edges of the dress, and then I blanket stitched around those to have a foundation to crochet on. And then I used a really tiny crochet hook and just crochet thread, or cotton thread. I crocheted these little points onto the edge of the dress around the neckline, the armholes, the flounce across the bodice, and then the flounce that goes down the skirt. I tried a couple different hats to go with this look, and my first thought was to do white accessories, but I only had a pair of white gloves and that was it, and it's hard to find old white hats that look good. So I shifted gears and I put the dress with my brown leather accessories, and I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out. I wasn't sure at first, but I like the pairings together and I think it works really well, especially with the giant sun hat. Admittedly, some parts of this dress are a little bit wonky, especially around the bust area, but I've just decided that sometimes you have to call it on a project and just learn to embrace imperfection. And so that's kind of what I'm doing with this dress, and I still like how it feels and how it wears, and I think it's still flattering. So I'm just going to roll with the things that are not quite right and chalk it up to being human and learning more.